Ladies and gentlemen, the ghost of 2022 presidential elections reared its ugly head once again at the Bomas of Kenya during the bipartisan talks which is being chaired by Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka and Kimani Ichung'wah. And for those who followed that event today, I think Kenya will have to really rethink whether they should be spending billions and billions of money on campaigns and again taxpayers to conduct election. Because for me, I was left confused. The three commissioners, that is Wafula Chebukati, Boya Mulu, and Abdi Gulie, refused to appear before that commission. According to Wafula Chebukati and the group, the issue of the 2022 general election was actually concluded at the Supreme Court. So they saw no need of going back to that issue because according to them, that's now something that is in the past. But the Cherera Four appeared, two of them physically, two of them virtually. And for me, the fact that Justus Nyangaya and Francis Wanderi decided to leave their houses and drive to Bomas of Kenya to present their views, that was a very bold statement. Very bold. And of course, for Irene Masit, you know, she was the last lady standing. And for Juliana Cherera, who was the leader of the group, they appeared while outside the country. But the Cherera group made certain confession that I think are significant politically speaking. So in this video, I want us to look at what I picked from their confession. And then at the end of it, I want to tell you something that you can only find on this channel. The political implication or the story behind or the objective of the Cherera Four coming out to appear before this commission. Before we do that, for those who are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support. Because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, let us dive in and begin by looking at what I picked from the Cherera Four. Of course, yes, tomorrow I'll be revealing to you guys why Wafula Chebukati and his team refused to appear before this commission. But let us try and figure out what I personally picked from the Cherera Four. Maybe you also picked some other things. The first thing I picked is that these four commissioners were actually forced to resign. So why were they being forced to resign? The truth of the matter is that William Ruto wanted legitimacy. So he wanted these commissioners to resign, then Wafula Chebukati to proceed, prepare the report that he prepared, you know, because IBC is actually a commission. So if the four were allowed to continue serving as commissioners, and Wafula Chebukati and the three were still also going to be commissioners, then it means they were going to veto some of the recommendations or some of the issues which they were going to discuss as a commission. And this is what Ruto did not want immediately he was sworn into office. So why were they forced? If you think, let me know. Number two, according to Cherera Four, what they're telling us is that there was no tallying and verification. That at the Bomas of Kenya there, what you are doing there was not verification. There was no tallying. Because according to them, and this shocked even Kalonzo Musyoka and the team, after tallying, there's a form, which is Form 34C, that's supposed to be gazetted. They shocked the country by telling the country that that Form 34C up to today has never been gazetted. Because that was the form that was used to declare William Ruto as the president of the Republic of Kenya. It has never been published. Because that form actually has all the results for all constituencies, not yet published. And for them, that's why they disagreed with the results. And Cherera Four are also saying something which for me is also significant, that they left the country because of security reasons. The two now who left. It reminds me of Miguna, who was forced into exile, but was brought back by William Ruto. Basically, Cherera, Juliana, and Irene Masit are out of the country without their, they didn't really want to go out of the country, but because of fear of their security. So we can say they are refugees. So that's something which is also coming out. But the question is, who threatened them? The Cherera Four are also maintaining something which is very important. I'm saying important because two of them are in the country. That they are still maintaining that the 2022 presidential election results were actually opaque. And they are still maintaining that they still disown those results. So it means if this guy said the results were doctored, William Ruto was declared the president, things are moving on, Supreme Court justified, but they are still maintaining that those results were not real. What are they up to? What do you think these guys are up to? Two of them are here. And we all know that William Ruto is actually a very vengeful man. Two of them are still here. And they're saying, no, those results, we don't accept them. Basically, they're telling Ruto that your presidency, we don't recognize. Unless I'm wrong. And in short, what the Cherera Four are saying is that they're calling for audit of the results. The forms now. Not the servers, the forms. Because that's the only true thing. Not even the servers. But why do you think Wafula Chebukati refused to appear and the group, but Cherera Four decided to appear? Why do you think Cherera Four decided to appear before this commission? Because, for example, for Wanderi and Nyangaya to appear publicly while in Kenya is bold. What was the objective of Cherera Four appearing? Because all of them appeared. For me, there is the issue or the question of legitimacy of William Ruto's presidency, or the legitimacy of the 2022 presidential elections. Of course, because of the Supreme Court ruling, you can say that William Ruto is now the president of the Republic of Kenya. But the biggest question is the role played by the Supreme Court. Is there a chance that Cherera Group believes that Supreme Court did not really deliver justice? Because by maintaining that, after 1 year is a long time since Ruto was sworn in. And these guys just decided to take a low profile. So they should have maintained that low profile. Why do you think they're now talking? By saying they disown the results, basically, it means William Ruto's presidency is being questioned by this team. So the issue of the legitimacy of the 2022 presidential election. Number two, I tend to think that these commissioners, based on the way they were handled, or mishandled for that matter, they are still very bitter and angry with those who mishandled them. Those who are in government as we speak. William Ruto and Kenya Kwanza. So they have a bone to chew with the Ruto. And that's why they came forcefully. In fact, today, Bomas was actually on fire. Unless I'm wrong. but Bomas was actually on fire. The third objective of these guys is actually the audit of the 2022 presidential elections results. It's like they're supporting the idea of auditing the results. The other day, in one of my videos here, I opined that Raila Odinga was playing into William Ruto's trap by accepting the servers to be open, probably because, when there was that fire, that power blackout, there were many people who believed that the power blackout was actually engineered to allow for the servers to be sneaked in, and that those servers have not been fixed. But these guys, from the way they're talking, it's like they're sure. Let's just conduct the audit of those results. Because what Wafula Chebukati announced is not true. That is the message I'm getting from these guys. And of course, if you ask me, it might not manifest now. But the message they are saying is actually meant for international community. I'm saying this because 2 commissioners are out of the country, exile. 2 are in the country, but they're talking the way they're talking. So which means, I'm sure tomorrow, headlines internationally, you might find Kenya trending. So they did whatever they were doing to highlight their plight, that they were forced out of the country. They were forced to resign. Their families are being targeted. And lastly, I'm sure the 4 commissioners, based on the tone of their speeches today, or statement today, I'm sure the 4 might be having more details than what we know about the 2022. And they're just praying and hoping that they be given a chance to reveal what they have. I don't know what you think. That's my take. Thank you guys, and may you have a good day. Bye-bye.